Hello guys, and welcome to the White Rabbit Trading Channel. Before we begin, please take a moment to read the disclaimer below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor and everything here is for educational purposes only. And if you find this analysis helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. Your support helps me create more content like this. Let's get 1K subs. Alright, let's dive in. Bitcoin opened the weekly session with a move to the downside, breaking below the value area high of this range and coming into a lower support area. This is also a good place for me to take some profits on my shorts. As explained yesterday, if the price is above the value area, it is a good sign, and breaking below it opens the door to lower prices. I will keep this updated briefly. As the price is coming into support, I will look for setups for a new trade in this area. Ideally, I want to see liquidity sweeps and a market structure change in these areas. If that doesn't happen, then it simply means there is no trade for me to take there, and I would wait for more clarity. From a structure standpoint, we would be looking for a potential higher low to form on the chart, with the invalidation point below the last low. Could the price come even lower and sweep that again? Yes, in a range everything can happen. Price can sweep the highs and lows or deviate, as we have seen in the past. But since we don't know if that will be the case, I can first plan the next move, which would be a potential higher low on the daily time frame. To get into that position, I will look at lower time frames for an entry and try to avoid bad trades if I don't see a structure change or a reclaim of resistance levels. With that said, since Bitcoin has broken below the value area high, this level could now act as resistance or turn into support again if reclaimed. Let's switch to the 4-hourly and 1-hourly charts. Long ideas. In these support areas, I will look for bullish price action. I want to see a range, potentially another sweep of the low, and then a change in structure. If that doesn't happen on the first attempt, I will wait for the next level. Alternatively, I want to see resistance reclaimed and start to hold as support. Then I would adjust my plan to aim for higher levels. Short ideas. This broken level can also now act as resistance, and Bitcoin broke the 4-hour structure to the downside. That gives us some levels to work with for a plan and invalidation. If price rises from here without forming a range and showing bullish structure at the point of interest, that rise could be a potential lower high, with invalidation above the weekend's highs. This level is important. It's a breaker, the value area high, and simply the intra-range high, which gives me a solid level for a potential short. I would look for a local structure change on lower time frames to enter the trade, in line with the current local downtrend. The invalidation is the weekend's highs. Price could come higher and reject at higher levels or even sweep that high, but in that case, I would want to see Bitcoin lose the value area again, because it could simply act as support, and I don't want to short into a potential support area where I'm also looking for signs of strength and potentially higher levels. For a scalp, however, it might be an opportunity. The best scenario for a short would be if price finds weakness in the rest of this local level and doesn't make a deeper move inside. I would target a new low, as there is still liquidity to be taken and a support level for potential long setups. Of course, it's important to watch what happens first. Ideally, for a short, you don't want to see a range forming here, you want to move up and then a rejection. For a long, you want to see a range near support, maybe a few more sweeps, and then a change in structure. I hope this makes the next steps clear. There is no need to complicate things. Stats and momentum. The average gain is 3.34%, which is around 106K. If the price rises to that level and closes the daily candle there, it would be bullish. For that to happen, we already know what we want to see. The average loss aligns basically with where the price is right now. As shown yesterday, if the price opens near the average loss, it can open the door for lower levels, which was no surprise given the data. The same situation applies here. If the price can't break above resistance today and closes around the average loss level, it could open the door for another move down tomorrow. We don't know exactly where it will close. Even on average, on a bearish day, it could close around here and then potentially see a 2.5% move tomorrow, which would land us exactly in these support levels. So I will keep this in mind and update you tomorrow. Now, weekly momentum has shifted down to 97K, which is actually good because as long as the weekly remains above 97K, it stays in an uptrend. On the daily, momentum is still pointing down. On the 4-hour chart, momentum needs to close above 100K to cross up. This is a setup playing out from yesterday, as volatility was very low and momentum pointed to the downside. Now we see it unfolding. The same applies to the 1-hour chart. Let's see what happens first and be prepared for these scenarios and for the invalidation or activation of a setup. That's it for today's update. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll keep you updated as the market develops. Until then, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.